So first of all, it's wonderful to have you here. Welcome to the Chavez Media facilities. Your Tata's dream originated with Radio Campesina. So thank you for being here. We love to have you here.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Maria. It's, I don't know, just so inspiring to see how much of his vision has come to fruition and even more, right? So much more.
Julie, as the first Latina, as a woman, I feel inspired just by seeing you and watching the hard work that you're doing and being the first Latina leading a U.S. presidential candidate. How do you feel your Tata, César Chávez, and your dad, Arturo Rodriguez, legacy, how that affects or shows the work that you do today?
Well, it's, really inspired me. I think for me, I know that I stand on tremendous shoulders, not because, my grandfather or my father were giants by any stretch of the imagination, but because they worked hard and they made a difference and they, chose to, be a part of something that was bigger than themselves. And for me, that's the exciting part that we have right now with our campaign, is to be able to build an opportunity for our community to connect with all that this president has helped to deliver, from affordable health care to lowering the cost of insulin and prescription drugs to, addressing student loan debt, all of these things. And so it's so important that, now I can translate, my grandfather and my father's legacy into the organizing that we're doing right here in Arizona and in Nevada and Georgia, in all of our key states that we know we need to reach Latino voters and to bring our community together, to remind them that they have power in this election, and that Donald Trump is dangerous. He demonizes our community. He, threatens to continue his family separation policies, to, mass deport, our community members. We've seen, the scars of those kinds of policies before, and there's too much at stake for our community.
So you mentioned, the engagement in the community is crucial, and the connection. Radio Campesina, your Tata's, creation, you use Radio Campesina to engage, to educate, to inspire people to get out to vote and to make them feel like your vote counts. In your vision as a campaign manager, Biden and Harris campaign, what is your vision? How are you going to engage with this community today the way your Tata used to do it when he was alive?
Well, I think it's everything from house meetings and, bringing friends and family and neighbors together to talk about, again, what's at stake in this election, and to, register to vote, to get out to vote, to sign up to volunteer, to the really exciting things we're doing. Like today, we announced an incredible, organizing program using Copa America tournaments to be able to reach younger Latinos.
You're going to have the Mexicans there for sure.
Exactly. Well, and those are, exactly the communities that we want to make sure we're reaching. And I think it says something about our campaign that we know the culture of our community. We know the heartbeat of our community. We know the issues that matter, but we also know the joy and the celebration that we need to tap into this election cycle. And so those are the things that I'm most excited about. And it really is. It's the roots of community organizing that we're able to infuse at every turn of this campaign.
And you just mentioned, we know what the culture is and what the needs of the community have. And we were celebrating the 12th anniversary of DACA, and we will also celebrating executive action that the president just passed. So that's huge for the spouses of the undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens, and what that represents for the president and for the Latino community, this executive action.
Well, bottom line, it's that the president wants to do everything that he can to keep families together. And, Donald Trump, again, has threatened to re-implement his family separation policies. That is, for us, the fundamental sort of issue right now that really demonstrates who's fighting for our community, who knows our community, who has our community's back. And, as you mentioned, this new, executive action has the opportunity to, help to provide so many families across our country with the peace of mind that they can stay together, that they can plan for their future, that they can pursue the careers that they want to, or maybe even decide to have children if they want to. Those are the opportunities that they now have afforded to them. And, as I was talking with some of my colleagues who, were in the White House, really instrumental in making this happen, they reminded me that, so many, thousands of folks across, so many immigrant communities would just sleep better that night, knowing
500,000 is going to be benefited by this, right?
Yeah. Those are some of the estimates. It will be case by case. And so, but yes, to have that peace of mind, to not have to fear the threat of deportation. It's what DACA, as you mentioned, 12 years ago afforded over 800,000 young dreamers. And now we have this next opportunity to continue to build on that legacy.
Beautiful. So this election is a historic, this is a historic moment. So how can we make our Latino community, the ones that are not awake, that this is happening and it's going to be a tough election? What message can you give them to make them understand the importance of this historic election?
Yeah. Well, I think at the very most basic part of it, it's reminding them that, Joe Biden is fighting for them and fighting for their families and fighting for their future. And Donald Trump is fighting for himself. And that is, I think the clearest way that we can, really paint this choice. But, what does that actually mean for our Latino community, and making sure they know it means, rolling back affordable health care if Donald Trump were to be reelected, and millions of Latinos losing basic access to health care. Under President Biden, we've had record low unemployment and record job creation, over 4 million jobs for Latinos alone. I was just, earlier meeting with Bill Ruiz, who's one of from the Carpenters Union, and he was mentioning, one thing that he shares with some of the young workers that are part of the apprenticeship program is that right now they get to, be a part of a career that has at least a 10-year sort of trajectory and investment. Wow. And so those are the things that the president has helped to set in motion. Those are the things we're going to continue to talk to our community about. And again, remind them that, the alternative is someone who has chosen to demonize our community time and time again, who wants to, rip away healthcare, who wants to take away a woman's right to choose and control our bodies, control what, books we read, how we choose to, learn history in this country. So there's too much at stake, and we'll do everything that we can to reach our Latino voters. And it's something that we know is critical, and not just, in September, October, but now, from now until November.
Yeah. Last question, Julie. So we live in an era of misinformation and disinformation. That sounds like a new pandemic. Radio Campesina started a campaign that is called Yo Aquí Cuento, that is focusing just on fighting the whole misinformation and disinformation. How do you feel about that?
Look, it is rampant, and we know that it's not just, individuals and one-off, folks deciding that they want to spread rumors and lies on the internet. There's actual real money behind it. And there's some, foreign actors behind it too, as we've seen in past elections. So we know that this is, a critical issue and a new issue that, campaigns have to confront. But at the end of the day, what's important is that we continue to, really invest in the work that we're doing to ensure that we have our trusted messengers really out there. We know that it's, we're not always going to be able to combat every single, piece of disinformation. But what we can do is have our army of surrogates out there, making sure that they are setting the record straight and making sure that they are really, communicating directly to our voters, really the issues that matter most to them. And that's the work that we're going to continue to do. And, the important, organizing work that we're doing. We have a really powerful organizing model that's connecting digital organizing to, on the ground canvassing, because we know that we need to reach voters online, but also in their communities. And those trusted conversations are, that's what's going to really, I think, be the key to unlock this. And in addition to, and grateful for the work that you all are doing at Campesina, because so much of this mis and disinformation is under the, guise of news or of radio programs that we know are, just continuing to perpetuate lies within our community. And so appreciate just, you all bringing integrity into, this work, because it's important that we all do our part to make sure our voters are educated. We want to make sure that, we earn every vote, and we're committed to doing that. And, it's the important work that lies ahead.
Thank you, Julie. Anything else you'd like to close up? Any message before we finish?
Well, I'd just like to say, it's a real honor to be here. We're excited to, continue to be able to speak to, your trusted audience and be able to, ensure that we're connecting through your platforms, because we know so many voters out there trust La Campesina. And so we want to be, a key partner in this effort. And we hope that, your folks also, decide to join our campaign. And so they can get involved by texting Latinos to 30330 or going to joebiden.com/Latinos to get more involved.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.